The Catholics of Oz is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit GiveStarQuest.com.
You're listening to episode 156 of The Catholics of Oz. The Catholics of Oz is a show where we discuss faith, culture, and what's been happening from an Aussie perspective. Whether it's synods or science, apostolates and apps, providence or productivity, you can hear it right now on The Catholics of Oz. Hello, I'm Lindsay Sant, and welcome to episode 156 of The Catholics of Oz. So good to have you with us, as always. I'm going to do some very quick introductions because we have a very special guest today. So I'm joined by Caroline. Caroline, how are you today?
Well, thank you. Had a nice long day of work, and now we're here. And it's very fun. It's going to be exciting.
This will be the best part of our day, I promise
That's
you.
right.
Lino, how you going?
Same as Caroline. It's a very long working day, but I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, guys, and hope you guys are listening to this special podcast. We're usually up in the morning for this, guys, and this is strange in the afternoon, evening. It's, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Yep. I love it.
And why is it so special? Because we have a special guest returning to the podcast, Archbishop Peter Comensoli, the Archbishop of Melbourne. How are you this evening?
Hello, everyone. Doing well. Thank you for accommodating me at this such late time in the day. I, too, have had a full day. And once we're finished here, I'll start reading papers for tomorrow.
Well. Consider this a break then.
My day goes on.
Yeah.
We want to keep you as our friends, so we won't drag it on for too long. So, before we continue, if you are new to listening to The Catholics of Oz, you can subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, especially for this episode, and some positive feedback so that we can hear from you and reach new people, which is what we are all about. Don't forget that SQPN also hosts The Catholics of Oz on YouTube. You can subscribe to SQPN there. Don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications when new episodes of this show and all the other great shows on the network are released. And with that, Archbishop Comensoli, we're going to dive straight into it. So we haven't had you on the show for a couple of years, but it's good to have you back. It doesn't mean we haven't seen you because we see you at least once a year at the Patrick Erasure, which is really good. I thought maybe we might just start if you give us a bit of an update on the Archdiocese of Melbourne. What are the comings and goings? What's been happening lately in your neck of the woods?
Right. Only yesterday afternoon we had our Corpus Christi procession through the city, and there's debate over precisely how many were there, but we think somewhere over 5,000 came along, and it was great. So we started in the Cathedral, moved through the city down a little bit of Spring Street, and then down all the way along Collins Street, and then hit a left turn and went down to the Federation Square. It was really beautiful. The weather was decent, so none of us got rained on, so that's a good thing too. But it was just wonderful to be a bit of a witness to our faith in the streets of Melbourne, and that Christ accompanied us through Melbourne. On the corner, on the Flinders Street Station corner, I did a bit of a blessing with the Blessed Sacrament to the 4 points of compass, so for a blessing over our city. So that was good. I've been travelling a bit lately, and I will be travelling again in a week's time. So you got me just in the week when so that worked out well. I decided not to cancel you. Isn't that nice?
Thank you.
We know you would never do that to us.
Oh, never. No. What else has been happening? We had, and some people who listen may be aware that in various parts of the world at the moment there seems to be a flowering of faith amongst younger people, younger generations, particularly under 40.
Mm-hmm.
And that was proved the case for ourselves here in our Archdiocese of Melbourne, where there was over 600 who came to faith at Easter this past Easter, through the parishes and so on. And most of those would have been under 40.
Wow.
So good. Wonderful.
And so that was another thing that's been happening in our local church here in Melbourne. And, going back a few months now, or 6 months, there was the great Australian Catholic Youth Festival.
Yes.
Which took place in December last year, and over 6,000 young people for the weekend festival, and it was tremendously good. Tremendously good. But there's three things.
Yeah. Oh, those are three good ones. Yeah. Actually, I have questions about all of them almost, but I'll start by saying this. My son, who is 17 years old now, he went as a 16-year-old, I guess, to the ACYF last year, and it was an incredibly profound experience for him. We're working, doing our best to raise our children, in the faith, and I think, and I knew, because I've been to them myself, I took young people to these in the past as well. I knew it would be an amazing experience for him, and it didn't let us down. It's been so good for us. He's a bit more open about his faith in a positive way, and I think that's been really good. He doesn't mind talking about it now. Maybe he was a bit more reticent before the youth festival, but I think what was really good was being with other young people of faith, and for 3 days it was this beautiful immersion of faith, and I think that was a beautiful thing. I do have a question about because this phenomena of people entering the church in larger numbers, this isn't just a Melbourne thing. This seems to be a worldwide thing, where reports of more people getting baptized at Easter seems to be happening. What do you think is behind this?
Can I tell you a story here? That I went to France earlier on this year in February, precisely to look at what's going on, because in France, the numbers who are coming to faith are enormous. So this past Easter, over 20,000 people were baptized or received into the church. And so there's something, it's happening in different parts of the world, but there's something particular about France. And so I actually went over there to get a sense of what was going on and what is going on, why this is happening. They're experiencing it very much as a younger generation reality, in the teenage through to the late 30s, early 40s. There's really huge numbers of people who are coming to faith. And Lindsay, there's been, in that journey that I had, I was in 3 cities. So we went to Marseille, which is on the Mediterranean, to Lyon, which is in central France, and then on to Paris. And I think everyone's heard of Paris. And a couple of days in each of those places, we spoke with parish communities, we spoke with people involved in the rite for Christian initiation, and spoke with the bishops in those 3 places. The story is clear in all 3 of those places. It's much the same. Firstly and foremostly, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The story was much the same. The church in France was a little bit caught out by what was happening, and these large numbers starting to come. And it's really random, the description of what happened. Someone just walks into a church for the first time in their life.
Wow.
And they say, hello, here I am. Tell me about
Amazing.
Yeah, that's quite extraordinary. There is some features that have come to light which I think are interesting. One is COVID. Not COVID itself, but post-COVID, young people, especially locked down, searching for meaning and purpose in their lives.
Yeah.
The answers weren't there in all the usual things that they may have been involved in or whatever. And they find and want to find, probably more accurately, want to find Jesus in their lives. And so after COVID, there's this enormous uptake in people coming to want to know about Jesus and wanting to know what that means in the Catholic faith.
Mm.
Another thing that was happening is grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's an interesting one for me. I think there's a level of similarity here in Australia that young people, they may have known that they were nominally Catholic or something. Our family's been Catholic. It's like an Australian census. People tick the box. But there's been nothing about the faith in their life from their parents. And when these young people are starting to make that search, and they're going, "Mum and Dad, why didn't you give me this? What was it that you didn't pass on to me?" So they're going to their grandparents, especially their grandmothers.
Mm.
Our eyes up in 50 years' time.
Who knows?
And they're going to their grandparents and going, "What is this faith that was somehow part of our family? Tell me about it." So that was an interesting thing. I'm seeing little elements of that here amongst our younger people too.
I know that our mum was like, like that with her grandchildren. Like, even though we brought our kids to the faith, she'd double down on it.
Yes.
She'd just she'd like not let anyone forget, and like give out rosary books and, rosaries and saint cards and what grandmas do. So I can feel you on that one, Archbishop. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's something in France which I think is different from our reality. France now has a fairly substantial population of people from Islam, with these migrants who've come in and from the Islamic faith. And so there's a whole pile of young generation who are perhaps second generation Muslims, and these other young people who kind of have maybe had a Christian background somewhere. They're seeing their friends at school and in work who are Muslim, and they're seeing that they know something about their faith. They know about Ramadan, how to do it. They know about halal and about praying 5 times a day and these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And the young people who are friends with these Muslims, they're not attracted to Islam. They're attracted to Christianity, but they learn from their Muslim friends around being clear about the faith.
Yes.
Wanting to come to the faith. That clarity thing is something with young people, I think. That's there amongst ours. What is it to be Catholic? What is it to believe? What are our beliefs? What are our practices, and so on? So there's some things, Lindsay.
That's incredible. Yeah. Anecdotally speaking, and I have no evidence for this except for my daily experience. I'm a high school teacher and a religious education leader as well. In my real life, I say. I feel like, and this is just a feeling, but I feel like there's a difference in before and after COVID in students feeling more open about their faith at school. So before COVID, you could forget trying to get a lunchtime rosary up and running. Now we have one. Some students came and asked me if they could have a weekly lunchtime rosary, and they're running it. I'm there obviously, but that came from them. It would have been like pulling teeth trying to get something like that up and running. that's just one example, but there are these little examples of things that I'm seeing in school where students are coming to me and saying, can we have this? Can we do that? Can we have a Bible study? I mean, I'm so happy about it. When they come, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. I don't feel like I've done anything special to make these things happen, but they're coming out of the woodworks and saying, can we do it? And I'm like, yes, let's do it. So I wonder if there's something post-COVID, like you're saying, where, I don't know, maybe the grandmothers at our school are, of these kids at our school are getting behind us as well. Yeah. It's incredible.
The reasons might be quite mixed, all sorts of reasons why people might be coming, but it's the fact that they are.
Yes. Yeah.
And that there is a sense in which life is not providing the meaning that they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're not providing the sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And they're going, there is more. There is God.
Yes.
Christ.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that leads us into the next question, because this is also another Melbourne-based question. So Caroline and I, we came to the last of this year's Patrick Oration, and it was all about the Light into the City initiative around the cathedral. And I know it's not just about renovating the cathedral, right? There's a whole lot of other things that are coming with that as well. So if I throw a quote from you to yourself, if that's all right. Now, let me preface this by saying...
You wanted me to confirm my words,
No, let me...
Archbishop, this is a podcast, I'm sorry, but this is not Talkback Radio. I just making sure of this, okay?
Yeah. I was gonna preface that this is not a gotcha question, don't worry. So here's what you said.
What did I say?
Yeah. Well, let me remind you. You said, I envision St. Patrick's Cathedral precinct as a light into the city, a welcoming home of prayer, pilgrimage, and mercy, a beacon of beautiful liturgy and sacramental life, a centre for formation, culture, and dialogue, and a hub of charity, outreach, and reconciliation. Renewed for mission, it will gather diverse communities, serve the vulnerable, and stand as a spiritual civic heart for Melbourne, which is a beautiful vision. Now, I can tell you that all three of us, Caroline, Lino, and myself, at different points in our lives, we've been to the cathedral, sometimes a big moment, sometimes to pray. Lino and I, when we were involved in youth group at our parish years ago, we used to bring the young people once a month for 6:30 adoration on a Thursday night, which was, and they looked forward to it, so the cathedral's been a part of our life. So for me, the word that stands out is that word precinct, right? And this is why I'm saying it's not just a renovation that we're talking about here. It's something more. So I was wondering if maybe you could unpack the vision of what you're hoping the cathedral precincts, the grounds, could be for Catholics and for anyone who visits.
Yeah, sure. Can I just start with those who visit already? And it's a particular group that I have in mind here. Not the big events or the great masses or the confirmations or that sort of thing. It's the individual or the family or a couple of friends who walk in. And there's that down at the main door, just off to the side, there's those two large sort of discs where people light their candles and place it in. There's something of the cathedral being a place of attraction for people. I'm not without, don't want to mention people or anything like that, but you'll spot every now and then someone just in a corner part of the cathedral. Perhaps there's tears in their eyes. They're letting something go. They're struggling with something. They're praising, just a deep thanks, whatever. That, for me, is the great light of the cathedral. All of the other, yes, it's important and beautiful and what have you, but there's something that it's a place for people to come where they feel safe and able to give true expression to their faith, even if it's floundering. They can come forward, light their candle, say their little halting prayer, whatever it is, if you're there, God. And that's a beautiful thing about our cathedral and its precinct. Precinct itself, as you know, is over a whole block, just on the edge of the city grid of Melbourne. If people know Melbourne, it's a square grid. We're just on the edge of that grid, and it sits by itself within all the big buildings around it. And it is the place of refuge and sanctuary, and it's the overall sense of that precinct that I want to try and develop and enhance in the ways that it can be used. So the cathedral itself, yes, but we don't have anywhere to gather outside of the cathedral on our precinct. To be able to have something like that available, to be able to have mission outreach from the cathedral precinct, to be able to invite people in at a cultural and intellectual level, to open up what is beautiful, allow beauty to enter into a sense of the divine. So all of those things are a part of the sense of the whole precinct, not just the cathedral itself. Mind you, our cathedral is the largest neo-Gothic building in Australia.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Oh,
In the Oceania, in Asia,
Wow.
and quite possibly the whole of the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow.
Wow.
I haven't checked on that last part. All the other bits I definitely...
We'll just say it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a significant presence.
Mm.
Yeah.
And has been for, the 128 years it's been on that site. And, think of all the people that have passed by, wondered, entered, so on. That's it.
Yeah. I like, on one sense, how you're thinking about the individual. I think that's pretty amazing to think, well, there's that person who's come in and said, God, are you there? Or, light their candle. So that space for even the individual to come in off the street, into this place that is familiar or unfamiliar, I think is pretty amazing. Off the top of your head, when do you think? I know it's not going to take as long as Sagrada Familia. Don't worry about that. But
It won't cost as much.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we'll be within our lifetimes, of course. But when do you sort of estimate? I guess that it would be the vision that vision complete and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. So it's over 3 stages. All 3 stages, we're looking at around 10 years. But the first stage is the cathedral proper and the surrounds. And the second stage is the renewal of the other buildings that are on the site, which are heritage, and repurposing of that. We're hoping around the cathedral itself, the work on that over 18 months to 2 years. Yeah. The building of the new building, the assembly area, and the restoration of the other buildings over a 5-year period.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So it's staged out, and we start with the cathedral itself, and so that will the scaffolding, and encourage one of your kids, either any of you all got kids, encourage them to go into the scaffolding business.
Right.
Is it a good business?
Does it cost?
Yeah.
Multi-millions of dollars scaffolding cathedral.
That's funny.
Yeah. Let me just write that down. Good. Yep.
Will the cathedral be in use? I don't know if this is a silly question while it's being worked on, or will there be times when it's closed?
We're going to have to close it, of course, with all the safety issues at play. Of course, the vast bulk of the work to be done on the cathedral proper is on the roof and the spires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a level of danger around all the time. So we will have to close the cathedral proper, and we will go down to St. John the Evangelist down on the corner of Victoria Parade and Hoddle Street as a cathedral for that period.
Yeah, I'll have to bring the kids along before it starts then, because
there before September or October.
Because now, as my eldest loves trains, so sometimes we'll come to the cathedral for mass because we get to go on the train to go to the cathedral, and then they love mass because it's in the cathedral. So
Oh, beautiful! That's beautiful.
Great, and I think we managed to see you a couple months ago when we came out and said hello. So they were really happy to meet you. That was really good.
Really good.
So we'll have to do it a few more times before that building begins. Yeah.
Already, we estimate around 1 million people come through the doors of St. Patrick's a year. That's a huge number.
Yeah.
You might remember Caroline and Lindsay when I said during the oration this year that that's, other than perhaps the MCG and the NGV, that's probably the largest
amazing
group, numbers of any people in our city each year.
Yeah.
That's
I can see why, though.
Yeah.
When you walk in the cathedral, though, there is something special about it. Absolutely. You walk in, it just so inviting, and it's like going home. It's just such a beautiful space to be in. So I'm not surprised that people are moved by the cathedral,
Yeah.
All
right, so I'm going to shift gears a little bit more. We're going to go a bit more international now. So I've got a question. Yeah. I've got a question about your boss. Okay, so that's the.
Oh, right. Okay, that's really international.
That's supernatural. I know what you're thinking of. Yeah. So I had a so now I don't know how much you've read of his new encyclical, so I don't want to put you on the spot. Now, I've only read the first chapter, and I'm working my way through very slowly. All right, so I know that the big reporting about Magnifica Humanitas is it's the AI encyclical. I'm 90% sure it's more than that, because whenever they report on an encyclical, like this is the environmental encyclical, this is the this one, I know it's always about more than that. Have you had a chance to flick through or?
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right, so good. So you passed the first test. All right, that's good. So if you were sharing, I guess, with ordinary Catholics, this big body of work. Again, I've only read the first chapter. I think it's already beautiful, and I'm looking forward to delving more into it. But if you were discussing this with everyday Catholics, what would you say are some of the most important takeaways that they should be aware of in their everyday faith lives?
Yeah. Can I just say a little bit about how Pope Leo is structured? So the first part of it, in the first 2 chapters, in fact, so a fair whack of the whole encyclical doesn't even mention AI. Or just says, we're going to talk about AI, and that's about it. And it's this really good catechesis the Pope gives on the Church's social doctrine and understanding, the importance of human dignity, of the common good, of subsidiarity and solidarity, of the universal destination of goods, of all of these things that he shapes all of that together and presents this really, really neat catechesis, much better than, in a sense, than going to the companion on the social teaching.
Wow.
And he does that so he can frame what he then wants to go on to talk about human dignity within this time of AI and technological development. So the AI stuff is all there. It's in the latter half of the encyclical. But he sees all of that in terms of this outlining of our human dignity and intellect and the way in which we are to live in our relationships with one another, and seeing AI as how does that fit in with enabling our dignity to be to flourish, and where are the challenges and the risks of AI that would not be enabling of that.
Yeah. So again, I've only read the first chapter, so the language that he used of the analogy of do we want to build the Tower of Babel, or do we want to build, the city walls of Jerusalem, and everyone has the responsibility in building, a part of the wall, I thought was quite beautiful. Is that a theme that's carried through this question of choice as well?
Yes, and he's pushing that as not pushing, but presenting that as the way of, do we want to use AI as creating this self-glorifying kind of way that is the way of Babel that will end up destroying? Or do we want to be responsible and build our humanity and the ways in which we can be truly human and all the elements associated with that with AI? So those two dimensions are throughout the encyclical. And he comes back from time to time to the image so that it becomes a framing image as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that this isn't, because, some people have then gone on to say this is the anti-AI encyclical, which is also a misrepresentation.
No,
yeah.
I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's not an encyclical on AI.
Yes.
It's an encyclical about humanity in this time of AI.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was talking about, there are trends now, and a trend towards this, a trend towards that. I thought that was his way of looking at it. Is there the other image I had, just from my first glance at it, was it seemed like there was this question of the golden calf, I guess, in a way. Are we going to build this thing, like say this AI, or not even AI, but just technology in itself, or, and say it's the solution to all of our problems, almost like building a new God and moving God out of the way? And by the way, I'm not saying this, I'm not anti-technology. we can't do this podcast without technology. But I guess it's a question of safeguards. What are the safeguards so that we don't accidentally replace God with AI or with technology, and glorify ourselves, I guess.
Yeah. So throughout the document, he goes to truth. How do we pursue what is true? Throughout the document, he speaks of the need to be responsible in our living. Throughout the document, he upholds the dignity of us, most particularly when we're vulnerable, and the importance of seeing in that vulnerability, in our limitedness, when we're limited in different ways, to see in that our way forward in our humanity. Excuse me. So if you've read the first chapter, there is, I think, the best takeaway sentence in that first chapter around how he makes it very, very clear that human intellect and dignity associated with all of that, that artificial machines cannot mimic human the intellect and tradition of our lives. Machines can't have bodies. Systems can't have relationships. All of these elements which are apart, they can't seek what is true and good. All of these are part of our human intellect and our dignity. And so look that one up and you'll see that he says this is the great gift of our humanity. This is a great possible good in AI, but how does it enable the flourishing of our dignity, or how does it try to supplant it? There's the odd question.
Would it be fair to say that, I guess we'd ask this question in every age where technology, there's always new technologies. We go back to the Industrial Revolution, then we can go back to, I mean, for example, that there's the internet, then there's, questions of, yesterday, Caroline and I were just talking about, our internet was, at one stage when we were young, it was the encyclopedias on the shelf in the living room, right?
Sure. Yep.
And it was,
Yep.
So is it about asking what the role of a particular new technology is in our lives? I guess just to ground a bit, as the Archbishop of Melbourne, how would you advise people of God to think about their relationship to technology, whether it's a new technology or one we already have?
Don't treat it like it's another human being.
True.
Yeah.
So can I use some examples which are fairly common these days? Most social media, what are you flicking through your reels? Is that the thing you do?
I don't even do it myself.
We are so old school.
I don't do it. But most of the images that are seen in that is AI generated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the risk of AI, using the word that I used earlier on, supplanting real relationship is significant here. I also think of how AI is surrounding most of us most of the time now.
Mm-hmm.
So we use our phones all the time. They are AI generated all the time. What we're doing right now is being AI'd, if you like.
Yep.
All those sorts of things. It's just being aware, I think, of all of this, and not allowing it to take over from our relationships with one another, our bodily realities, our way in which we can bring into our thinking and intellect our emotions, our passions, our ways in which we can live out our humanity in effective ways.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that answer. I had a question on a similar vein, just going back to your boss. I shouldn't call him that, about Pope Leo, sorry. So, because we did ask you this question about Pope Francis last time you were on the podcast, but have you met Pope Leo either as Pope Leo or before he was the Pope?
Both, actually. So I met Cardinal Robert Prevost when he was the prefect or the head of the dicastery for bishops, and I've had breakfast with him, in fact, when he was cardinal. So I've had some engagement with him there. I've had the privilege now, after he became Pope, to have an actual audience with him, a private 20-minute meeting with him, which was very, very special. I sort of noticed two things when I first met him.
Oh, is this sort of some sort of gossip you were telling us?
Well, you know, when he gets onto his desk, that I've said this, he'll, you know, you know how on what we're doing at the moment, you have no sense of how high you are.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
or not. He's more on the not.
Oh.
It comes up to here on you see things on TV or on the screen and what have you, and you get no sense of the perspective.
Yes.
So, right, okay, you're
yeah.
Love it.
I say that nicely? I hope I said that really nicely.
Yes.
And the other thing it was, hello, Holy Father, straight into English. Oh, gee, that was good.
Yeah.
I did have to try and struggle with translation and so on. So that was good. He listens really attentively. Boy, does he listen. But he also then makes decisions. So it's not just listening and going, yeah, so good. And there's a movement towards decision. And I think that's really a very good thing about him.
Wow.
Yeah. We've been fortunate in our lifetimes that, you know, three of us here, with the popes that we've had. You know, we were born in the Pope John Paul II generation. Benedict XVI, I think, was an amazing, you know, theologian and intellect. Pope Francis, beautiful again, just that pastoral heart that he has. And I feel like we've been blessed now with Pope Leo. I just feel like he's the Pope for our time, you know, the Pope that we need right now in his language. And, you know, even as you were saying, like, I don't know him personally, but you get that sense that he is a person who listens first before acting. So what do you think? You know, we've read his encyclical, or we've seen his encyclical. What do you think his vision for the church and his particular brand of papacy is going to be over the next decade or so?
He certainly emphasises communion and unity, and very, very often. So that's going to be, I think, important to where there is division and breakdown. He's going to be looking for building communion and unity. He speaks often about peace in this context too, and the need to be able to not build the walls, but to build the bridges. Not only to build the bridges, but get people to cross them. And I think that will be significant. That sense of listening will be a feature, I think, so that he can then take decisions from there. I think that will be important for him. He's not quite as off the cuff as Francis.
No.
Argentinian Italian in Francis came out in his. So for us bishops, it was always, he's going on one of those interviews looking around the place.
But that was kind of a cool thing about him too, that he would just speak, you know, his mind, you know, and it's kind of, it was, you know, it was endearing as well, you know.
Oh, beautifully. I was picking up something you said just a minute ago, Lindsay. I think about John Paul, the great philosopher, Benedict, the great theologian, Francis, the great pastor, just pastorally there. It'd be interesting to see how Leo, where he shapes. The name, he's come back to this several times. Choosing of Leo was significant, going back to Leo the 13th and what Leo did in that transformational period of the world. And 14 now seeing this as a new translational period of the world.
Interesting discernment that he's made to consider. I don't know how it's the Holy Spirit. I don't know how to put it. He would come to the conclusion that, I need to be Leo the 14th because the world is very much like the worlds of Leo the 13th. How you, I mean, does he start to think about that when it seems like it might be certain that he's going to be elected?
Yeah, when do they decide?
This is it.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right. Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's just his sense of the world. I mean, he obviously, to use a phrase, he wasn't born yesterday. He's obviously got a lot of international experience. He's been on the grounds with people, for example, in that time in Peru, and so he obviously knows the everyday realities of people and how their lives are affected. Yeah. I wonder if that has something to do with it too. Yeah.
I've never dismissed the fact that he was a diocesan bishop for a number of years. He wasn't just in the Roman Curia and that sort of sense, but he was father of a diocese, the shepherd of a diocese, and that will have significantly influenced him.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll shift gears again. Now we'll come back to Melbourne, okay? So we'll come back to your home ground. A few years back, we had the launch of Take the Way of the Gospel. So we're looking, missionary renewal of our parishes. I'm excited that in a couple of weeks, we've got Sherry Weddle coming to Melbourne for Proclaim 26. So I'm hoping to be there for one of those days. 2 if I can swing it, but definitely the Saturday I'll be there for that one because I think I've read her book. It's quite amazing. What's your general sense about how the parishes in Melbourne are going with this renewal journey of missionary discipleship?
I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. If I could say that, I think there are many who are really genuinely trying to make that shift towards a more missionary orientation in our communities, but a number of them struggle about how to do that. What's the type and capacity of people to be able to come on board and to take up that missionary journey. Now, that's the challenge of discipleship, isn't it? Not just followers, but disciples, and to be able to do that requires the openness of people's hearts, but also the encouraging of them to open up. You know how sometimes you hear people say, we've got to be a more welcoming church. And I don't disagree with that at all. We really do. We're much more welcoming than we are. But prior to welcoming is invitation.
Yes.
So it's that sense of what I want to encourage is how do you become more invitational? I'll be interested to see what Sherry's got to say on that. Unfortunately, I'll be overseas when she's there, so I won't be able to be there myself. But I suspect that would be part of her. She talks often about intentional discipleship. If you're not going to become intentional. You don't come to someone's place for the the party unless you're first invited and then you make a decision to come.
Oh, well, I don't know, Archbishop. Sometimes we sometimes just drop by as people's places. It's like a surprise. And you go, let's say, Father Michael used to do it. I think he used to just pop in sometimes, and I'm just saying.
He had an intention to do so.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
Probably knew that he could.
yes, that's true.
Welcome there for him.
That's very true. Yes. Yeah. Now I wrote it down because I was digging in my brain about some of the things I remember, because I haven't read her book for a couple of years. But I remember her saying that this is Sherry I'm talking about. Sorry, that she was speaking to, I think it was some bishops and some priests. I know I'm going to get the actual anecdote wrong, but the core of it was that she described to them what a missionary disciple in a parish is. She gave a description of a person who's a missionary disciple, and she said to them, with that description, how many people do you think in your parish or in your diocese actually fit that description? And the priests and the bishops were saying to her, oh, maybe between 2 and 5% currently at that stage. And there was this sense of does that mean we ring alarm bells? But the answer was no, we don't. Her method or her phrase was, so what you have to do then is aim to double your discipleship, year on year. And she talked, there was that beautiful phrase about disciples make disciples, which I've sort of, I've adopted that in our parish a little bit because I'm one of the Take the Way of the Gospel coordinators at our parish. So, and we're still, it's what I've discovered. It's a long journey. We're looking at 10 years, possibly.
I should ask you, how's it going? Can I ask you a question? How's it going?
Welcome to the Archbishop Comensoli podcast, everyone. Look, the first thing, Father Michael Peapili had asked me, he was at, 2 parish priests ago now, he had asked me to take this role. So the first thing for me was to learn as much as I could, to be honest, because it's one thing to say, yeah, no problem, I'll do it. And I mean, I was fully on board with Take the Way of the Gospel. I got the intention of what it was trying to do. And, I love the word renewal. So I'm always in on, on doing things better. Yeah. Where we're at is, I managed to find someone else who'd be willing to take that journey with me so we have 2 coordinators in the parish, which is great. And we both think differently, which is really important. So, I've got the energy for some things. He's more structurally minded, the person I work with, and I appreciate that because now we bounce ideas off each other. So a lot of it, the first thing really, like I said, was learning and getting the parish council on board. We have a beautiful parish council, they're beautiful people, but the language of, vitality, viability, did I say vitality? Yes. And vibrancy was the other one. Yep. But that language wasn't even part of our discussion. So the first thing was really just getting that. And so what we were doing was when we did something in the parish, in a meeting, I would say that was vibrancy. That's what it looks like. And we want more of that. So the parish council members started using the word vibrancy. Here's an idea, so that was the first part. The next thing obviously was that we needed a vision. So in some of my reading, a lot of parishes, when they were on the renewal journey, they wanted to define what that renewal actually was. So we, through a lot of discernment and through discussion with parishioners, we came up with a vision for the parish. So that was the next step. So now where we are, so we launched it last year. And by the way, Jackie Giuliano was amazing because she actually supported us in a big way to do all this. So now we're at the stage of enacting the vision. So we've had some discussion and discernment on what happens next. So our creation, or our understanding of the parish of what a missionary disciple is, and then bringing people on board to that. So we're really at the launching point now. So we've talked about things like, for example, let's have a welcoming ministry, an invitation ministry. We don't have that yet. Let's talk about getting an alpha up and running so that when people do come to our parishes, they can have that welcome to the faith. But also people who have been Catholic for a long time, if they, doing an alpha and having a faith discussion, maybe in a way they haven't had before with other people. So opening that up. So we're looking at these. Youth ministry is another important one. So we're working off the back of ACYF and working with the young people who went there. So we're trying to build that ministry up. So yeah, we're looking at the idea is
parish is doing it.
yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, so we're working on it. Yeah, but I think the important thing is in every ministry that we have, in every group that we have in our parish, how does it support the formation of disciples? So we're looking at that and asking that question. It's a long project. I think we're looking at a decade or more. So we're not rushing the Holy Spirit. We're just relying on the Holy Spirit to guide us.
That was formation question, I think, is really important, and it's actually one of the themes for our upcoming synod, the Archdiocesan Synod at the end of the year. So formation and participation is one of those. Youth discipleship, missionary leadership. So they're kind of the three things of that. But formation, it's a bit like what's the real estate slogan? Location, location, location.
Yeah, that's true.
Formation.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. I remember at one of the meetings when I was talking about formation, someone said, "What is formation?" It's so important, though. It's such an important thing to get into our vocabulary, this formation in faith, and that, we don't stop growing in our faith. It's a lifelong journey, isn't it? A process of being shaped and formed in our faith.
How do we come to know Jesus Christ and his life, death, and resurrection? Not how do we come to know things about Jesus Christ and his death and resurrection? You read a history book for that. Come to know the person.
Yeah.
And that person in my life.
Yeah. Can I cap the podcast off with one last question?
No.
Now, actually, okay, don't worry about
it. because you've asked quite a few. Okay. Caroline's asked one. Yep. Lino, you haven't asked a question yet.
Okay.
Lino.
No. I was going to get a question, Archbishop. I wanted to look a little rebuttal, like they said about the invitation. I had to put in my Father Michael saying he has an invitation. He comes in and knocks in, and he goes, that's the invitation for us to let him in. So I'll just say that. Yeah. No. Oh. But just seriously,
question out here.
Yeah, no, seriously, how is the Cathedral doing so far? Is it, with all the construction and everything that's happening around? When will the St. Patrick's close for construction in the wind?
We're just about close to signing the construction contract. And once that's signed, you'll start seeing the signs of the construction, so that multi-million-dollar scaffolding will start going up.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a nice look.
Yeah, I think somewhere around September, October, maybe November, we'll be moving to closing the cathedral. That's when the major works will start. And then it's going to be 18 months to 2 years. It's going to be long.
Wow.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah, wow.
So
I'm thinking of taking St. Patrick on the road.
Yeah, right.
A good idea.
Yes.
Yeah. So, while it's closed, we're going to put a little chapel somewhere on the site so that the that prayer and the Blessed Sacrament, Christ's presence will be there through the whole period.
Yes,
there will be a small place where people can come to pray.
Beautiful.
But there is a thought in my head, which I'm now expressing out loud, I suppose.
Why not?
We've now got our lovely icon of St. Patrick in the cathedral. Maybe we take that out, because that'll have to be brought down for all the construction.
Wow, that would be a wow, yes.
Think of everything that's inside the cathedral that's not fixed, and all that will need to be taken down because of all of the jackhammering and so on and so forth. But maybe we take St. Patrick's icon on a little pilgrimage around the archdiocese.
Oh, that would be so good.
That'd be absolutely amazing.
Excellent idea. Yeah.
There we go.
And that would, I mean, if you visited many parishes, or all of them with the icon, that would raise awareness of what's happening in the cathedral as well, wouldn't it? That would, make it known to everyone. True. Yeah. All right, we've got the campaign organised right here on the Catholic
love that idea. It's like taking the Mother Church around to the diocese. I love that.
Someone now in my office is going to go, why did he say that? We're going to have
to... Well, you've said it now.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay, over to you. Last question.
Actually, I had another question, but it's a longer one. I'll save it for the next time because we're getting close to our hour now, so I don't want to keep you too long because I know you've got work to do. But I do have a cheeky question for you. So you may or may not come back on the shaft this cheeky question. So now here it comes. So Caroline knows where this is going. So you, as the Archbishop, clearly you would have had lots of primary school children come for masses in the cathedral. You've probably visited a few primary schools yourself. In your recent visits or your recent experiences with our very young people, have you come across the phenomenon of 6-7?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I thought that had died already.
Yeah.
No.
Not with the young ones. Not, yeah.
Pope Leo's just started it, so you
He's reignited it, yeah. Yeah.
I was warned at ACYF not to do it. But now I've done it on the podcast.
You've done it on the podcast, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
You may not want me back up.
Yeah.
Oh, 6-7, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only reason I ask, obviously, is because Pope Leo has now done it twice, and because my 8-year-old does it all the time and won't leave me alone about it.
Oh, yep. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Way to go.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say a huge thank you for giving us the hour this evening. I know that you are very busy, so to join us for our podcast and for our listeners, we really appreciate it. And I was just wondering if you could conclude by giving us and our listeners a blessing.
Well, I was thinking of something even more than that. How about all of us together? I don't know if this works on, we all talk together, but we just might say together something in your heart, just whatever you might be holding, and the listeners today, whatever you might be holding in your heart. It might be a particular person, might be a particular situation. Just call it to mind. And we ask for our Blessed Mother's intercession in that matter. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, and at the hour of our death. Amen. And may Almighty God bless you and all those who are listening, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
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 Archbishop
Thank you,
Comensoli.
Archbishop. Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to see you all. And whenever this show goes on, I'll wait to see, Caroline, what's going to be the science bit, and Lino, what I need to be watching on Netflix.
We will do all of those. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you so much, Archbishop.
Bye to you
Take
all.
care. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy: The Secrets of Star Wars. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found or at sqpn.com/Star Wars.